self-defense. So we're not working it into, taking them down to the ground and stomping their head in and everything like that, because you're going to get put in prison. All right. What we do is we teach you common sense ways to get away, defend yourself, and everything like that, and make sure that you can get yourself out of the harm situation, both physically, mentally, and legally. So you can't just be putting somebody on the ground and doing a tap dance on their head and stuff like that, because everybody out there's got cell phone cameras. Back in the day,
Right.
if you saw one of your friends getting his ass whooped, you run over there and help him.
Right.
Now people are taking out their cell phones, taping it, and going, "Looking good there, guy.
Looking good.
Yeah, you're looking good.
We're on YouTube right now, dude.
Yeah, World Star Hip Hop, here we come." So you're getting in there. Then we work it into the sport competition stuff. So we work it into the MMA, okay, which is both your striking and your grappling and your clinching, the kickboxing, the boxing, and the Muay Thai. And a lot of people are like kickboxing, Muay Thai, it's the same thing. It's really not. It's truly not. It's its own discipline. And that's where I work it into. Your rule set is going to dictate your strategy. You can't just train. You can't train as a boxer to fight Muay Thai, just like you can't train just Muay Thai to fight MMA. You got to have all that cross discipline and stuff. And then the final one, we work it into our fitness kickboxing as well. So for those who don't want to go out there and actually fight and get hit and stuff, but they want to work out like a kickboxer, we've got all that as well. So we got our fitness kickboxing class.
And that's actually where I started out. I went in to just get in shape because I was horribly out of shape,
right.
and went in and took my kid in there with me and started off doing the fitness kickboxing class, and found myself sitting there punching and kicking this bag, watching the MMA guys over there training, and I was like, I want to be over there. I belong over there. I don't want to sit over here with the bunch of ladies.
Well, yeah, and you see all the guys with the belts. I wanted to ask you, what is your belt ranking system? Because if you're like jiu-jitsu in general, I mean, it could take forever to get a black belt. I mean, years upon years.
Nothing against Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They've gotten their thing, but they've kind of gone into this whole moniker of, we brought integrity back to the black belt and all that stuff, and because they kept people kept people from getting that black belt so long. But then they let all their blue and purple belts go open up schools and teach and everything like that. So the blue belt, they just kind of redefined what it was to be an instructor. Whereas most martial arts, you got to be a black belt to be an instructor and everything like that. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they allowed them to do that underneath black belt. So it's pretty much the same thing. But the belt ranking system that I've got, I break it up by classes. So my little guys, they're in their own little program. So I've got my 4 to 6 year olds. They're in what we call our Kicking Cubs program. They've got their own little belt ranking structure. So they're white belts with colored stripes, and then they get little colored tips on them and stuff like that. And then they move up to the next thing. So they understand the whole idea of goal setting and reaching their goal. Then we move it up into the small samurai class, which is 7 to 9. Again, they've got their own belt ranking structure. The requirements are a little bit more. They're required to know a little bit more, and they go in there with colored belts with a white stripe. And then we've got our junior program, which is where Mike's son started out at, and I just kind of went in with that and just recently transferred that over to colored belts with black stripes down the middle. Then they can earn a junior black belt, and then we have our adult programs, which is either the self-defense or the sport MMA, kickboxing, whatever you want to call it, and it all kind of intertwines. So you can get different ranks in both of those, but ultimately the goal is black belt, no matter how you get there. That's what everyone's striving for and stuff like that. But it's just the journey and getting there. So you can earn a number of different belts, and but one doesn't mean that you're a black belt. I'm just want to be clear. I'm not promoting the 7-year-old black belts that are on par with adults, because they're not. They're truly not. And anybody who says that they are is lying to them.
Well, and that's one of the things that I respect about the system is that it's not a pay to get your belt system. As long as you're paying your dues, you're getting promoted.
You mean if you don't pass a kata, you don't get a belt?
Right. No, we don't do katas.
Yeah.
No.
but there are some gyms out there, and there's not everybody, so don't get offended. But if sometimes you show up, whether you can perform the requirements or not, you paid your dues, you get a belt. With Eric, how long did it take me to earn it? And I was there 5 days a week for the longest time. For many, many years, I was there 5 days a week, and it took me 10 years. Almost 10 full years to earn my black belt. So it's a legitimate system. It's not just, pay to get your belt. If you want those programs, you need to go somewhere else. This one, you're going to have to earn it.
Right.
So,
well, do you have any active fighters right now in MMA?
Yeah, I've got my son. He's 15 years old. He just had his first bout up there at the 719 Fight Nights. Jeff Martinez, does a great job on those fights. Took over for some other promotions that are no longer with us for various reasons. And then so he's setting his next card up on May 6th, and I've got 5 guys that I'm looking to potentially match on that. So, but I won't be cornering all of them just because I will not do that. I find that I can only handle no more than 2. So I'll take 2 guys. I got one of my instructors, Robbie Graff. He's going to be taking 2 guys, and Mike's going to be taking a gentleman. Okay, and we're all going to be working them, so they're the main guy, and that's the big thing. You know what? It's kind of, martial arts is kind of like you know what? You get in there and you start moving into the front office. You start taking it into the training. When ex-fighters, they're never really ex-fighters. They always want to get back in there. Drew, how many times have you watched a fight and you're like, oh man, I want to get back training and start doing it again?
Every time.
Yeah,
every
time. Every time. You're like, oh man, I can start doing that. But damn,
I'm only
those
40 pounds away.
Damn, those nachos are looking good right now. So we just kind of move you in there, and now I'm to a point that I've got the people that I trust, and they trust me to know that I'm not just going to micromanage them and stuff like that. They're able to run them any way they want. So, and I say I don't think I have ever micromanaged you, have I?
No. You've always well, and that's part of the quality of training too, is that you entrust us because you've taught us for this many years. You didn't get there overnight. It wasn't something it was something you had to earn, and you had to. He made sure that we knew what we were talking about before we were able to go on and teach somebody else. So no, very very cool.
So that's what we try to do.
I want you to also talk about, because one of the coolest things that you do with your kids program is the annual movie event. So tell everybody a little bit about that, because I just think it's as a kid, I would have loved something like this. It would have just blown my mind. But tell everybody what you do with them.
Years ago, back in '95, geez, I was with my wife, but she wasn't even my girlfriend at the time, but we were a dojo romance. So anyways, so we did this stunt fighting school. It was me, Joe Aldridge, who's one of my instructors for jiu-jitsu and stuff. Excellent talent. Anyways, a whole bunch of us were out there, and we did this stunt fighting school and learned about selling the punches and everything along those lines, and getting yanked off and doing high falls. I'm drinking that ginger ale, and I had to move away from the mic every couple of times. Anyway, so we did this. So we did this whole stunt fighting school. Well, I finally got to put it in there when I did a action movie camp for the kids. All right, so we filmed this movie, and the first one we did was called The Fire Sword. My kids got this little bionicle sword of a big fire thing. I was like, let's make it into a movie. So we had an action movie. We had good guys, bad guys, all that stuff, and we went out there. I played the head bad guy. I shaved my head and made a Fu Manchu, and I was the Motor City Miyagi.
The Motor City
Miyagi. So we went on out there and did the whole movie and everything like that. So then we got a limo for the kids, and we rented out a theater, so they got to see themselves up on the big screen, and they rode the limo up to the movie theater and got all dressed up and everything, and got the red carpet treatment. And since then, we do it twice a year, so it's not even annual anymore. It's twice a year.
Oh, you bumped it up now.
Yeah, we do one in the summertime and one in the winter. So we just got done with last year. We did our first Star Wars movie, which is called Space Samurai.
Nice.
And but I didn't. It's on a 2-day filming schedule, and I don't have the budget for special effects and everything like that. So what I did was I made time traveling Jedi into present day.
Nice.
So the kids all time traveled into different things. They traveled into the 70s doing disco. They traveled into the 80s for the Terminator, into the 2000s for the Matrix, and into what was that? Oh, Straight Outta Compton for the 90s. So they got lightsabers getting a drive-by shooting with Nerf guns.
Nice.
So the kids have a good time with it and stuff like that. And then we got our next one coming up this summer called the Jiu-Jitsu Games Part 2. So we did our first jiu-jitsu games last time, which was kind of like the Hunger Games and blood sport combined. So
Oh, nice.
We need to be extras.
I will get you guys on there. We will film it. I will get you guys on there. We'll get Double Barrel Doo-Doo on the show and everything like that.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
You know what? We will do it. I will get them in there.
So what age group is this that you do this with?
I do it from 4 all the way up to about 14, and then again, like we were just talking about getting everybody kind of moving up into the next realm of instructing and stuff. Now I got kids that were in the first couple movies. We've done 7 total. Now they're directing parts of them. I got them on second units, and they're directing little trailers for their own movies and all that stuff.
Oh, that's amazing.
So we get to work them into the next part of it.
And do the kids get a copy of the movie?
Oh yeah,
each kid gets a copy of it.
They're all on YouTube as well. So.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to check those out.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I haven't had a chance to check them out yet. I definitely want to see those.
So yeah, these are a great time. So we've done 3 fire swords. We did one called Chop, Slice, and Deliver, which was 3 different movies directed by different people, and it was all based around a pizza parlor type thing. And then so they were going out there and delivering pizzas to these different stories. And then we did our Star Wars movie, so we've done 2 of those, and then we did our jiu-jitsu games. So we've got another jiu-jitsu games coming up this summer.
Yeah, you've always got stuff going on full time.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. The way, like I'm perceiving it, is could it be more of you trying to get them to invest in your program by having a lot of fun like that? Because when you're having fun, you want to just do things naturally, right?
You know what? It's one of those things. Yes. You know what? You always want people getting invested in the program and stuff like that, and staying with it and stuff like that. But a lot of it is just showcasing the kids. Mm-hmm. You know, they become leaders in their own right. You know, as opposed to being the follower and being a sheep following everyone around. You know, they're the ones that everyone's looking to. Hey, what do you think we should do? I think we should do this. Okay, well, we're going to get this. You know, the public speaking. You know, they say public speaking is the biggest fear out there, even more so than death. Okay, now obviously not to you guys because you guys are on the radio. You know, people A-type personalities like what we all are. You know, we're few and far between. You know, there's so many people out there that they got to give a speech in front of their peers or something. They're like, oh my God.
Yeah, we're finding more and more that people are following more than leading. That's for sure.
So we definitely want to get these guys leading and stuff. So, and the movies are pretty much brought up by the kids. So I don't write these movies at all. You know, I get in there, I get a big group, and I'm like, hey, what do you guys want to do? Give me some ideas. Give me some different stuff like that. You know, and then last time we had one kid. He goes, I could play the Italian gangster. Sounds good. Let's go ahead and do it. So we ended up filming him and do this little expose on him and everything like that, and had a lot of fun with it. And
so the kids get a chance to co-write it as well.
The kids are it's all their ideas. You know, this last one that we did, we had one girl that she looked like Dog the Bounty Hunter. So we did her hair up and put it out there and stuff. She had
the Kentucky waterfall.
Yeah, and my Dog the Bounty Hunter, she had long blonde hair. You know, so that was it. But she's up there and she's sitting in her car and she's like, "Let me tell you something, brothers. You know, I've been type thing." And I'm
talking like Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah, talking like Hulk Hogan, talking like Dog the Bounty Hunter. You know, I've been where you've been. You know, with his little pep talk and everything. So
that's amazing.
It's a great thing. So yes, you know what, it is to increase the program as well as highlighting these kids. You know, everybody likes to be appreciated. So if you appreciate someone, let them know, and they're letting everyone know.
That's awesome. I'm definitely a big advocate of it. I mean, his program for adults, kids, everything. Like I said, and we mentioned, my son grew up with him from the time he was 6 years old all the way up until 17, 18 years old. Eric trained him, so I kept him there for a reason. I mean, it's amazing, and he's just helped our family out a ton, helped everybody I know out a ton. Aside from just the gym and the martial arts training, you also are a DJ.
I am.
So you've done weddings and things like that. Tell us a little bit about that business.
Well, that's it. Well, anymore, that's all I do.
Just weddings?
Just weddings. You know, and for the sole reason of, you can't please everybody. At least when you're doing a wedding, everyone's there for 2 people, the bride and groom. So, if they don't like it, hey, go tell them.
I've seen some nightmare DJs though at weddings that were just absolutely horrible.
I'm sure you have. They're
Yeah.
definitely out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I've had a couple of friends that have used Eric during their weddings, and they said so happy they did it. He actually is hilarious with it. So
I actually DJ'd one wedding, and
Did you really?
it was for like my wife's friend or whatever, and I had all the equipment, I did the reception and all that stuff. But then they asked me, since we're paying you to be the DJ, we want